Sheldon, little bootleg ass studio.
So we got the turkey leg hut under hot fire right now. So as you know, the turkey leg hunt, man, it hit the internet by storm a couple years ago. I'm talking about I was planning on going. I still hadn't went. I was planning on going to Houston just for the turkey leg hunt. You know, never got a chance to go, but I heard about all the stories of the lines being wrapped around the corner, them having strict dress codes, kicking people out for twerking or shouldn't, whatever have you. People trying to get them shut down through blackmail and all kinds of other things or whatever. And then they finally get shut down. So the turkey leg hut's owner has been accused of paying some employees $1,400 to burn down his, I believe it was his business partner's bar. But we finna get into it. I don't want to give no wrong information. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you new around here. Let's get up into it right now.
Price, the former owner of the Turkey Leg Hut, pled not guilty after being indicted on 3 federal charges in the case of the fire set the bar 50-15 in June of 2020. It was a long hearing here today with Fox 26's reporter Leslie Delaspore was at the courtroom. Leslie, what can you tell us?
Yeah, court was about 2 hours long, and we heard lots of evidence, but also strong arguments from both sides. But also lots of information came out of that courtroom today. Now, federal prosecutors called an FBI agent to the stand. That agent claims co-defendant John Price told investigators that Lindell orchestrated in setting bar 50-15 on fire, stole cars, and even knew that marijuana was being sold on Turkey Leg Hut property using Turkey Leg Hut branding and packaging. John Price later admitted to setting the fire when he was arrested on a separate charge in 2023. Now, during the cross-examination, the defense argued that Lindell is a good member in the community and said John Price's confession only came about because he was facing felony drug charges.
The evidence that they have put on is based on a person, an individual that is under federal indictment for trafficking one of the most dangerous drugs in America, which is fentanyl. So again, the court has provided him with a bond. There are no allegations against my client whatsoever as it related to any type of drug trafficking as it relates to that co-defendant. A lot of things were brought up that, we necessarily didn't agree with, and we addressed those things during the course of the hearing.
Now, the judge said that she had a lot to chew on before she could make a decision. Anthony.
Leslie, really quickly here. So, like you mentioned, lots of stuff happened in court today, but when we came to cross-examination from the defense, what did we learn? What were they saying in defense of him?
Yeah, there was something that really stood out to a lot of people in the courtroom. So during the cross-examination, the FBI agent pointed out that Lindell Price was actually not seen in the surveillance video of bar 50-15 being set on fire. And that was one of the first points in the argument from the defense towards the end of the hearing.
This is not a rush for judgment. We're not going to, litigate this case in the media. We're looking for the court's ruling. We're looking forward to the court's ruling, and we're looking forward to clearing Mr. Lindell Price's name.
Reporting from downtown Houston, Leslie Delaspore, Fox 26 News.
Leslie, thank you so much. And we have covered the ups and downs of the Turkey Leg Hut for years. And you can find our extensive coverage on our free streaming app, Fox Local.
All right. So, yeah, they alleging that they were selling packs of that gas at the Turkey Leg Hut. I'm talking about some of that good ganja with the logos pressed up on that bad boy. So, I'm scratching my head at this. It kind of sounds as if they are being sabotaged if you look at this on the macro level. But I don't know. Because people have done some dumbass things to get themselves incarcerated. So I can't say that this is a far-fetched. You feel me? It sounds like you would think that would be smarter than that. You selling packs out of your establishment already. That's a strike already. You go another step further to get logos of your establishment put on these packages of illicit drugs that you are allegedly selling. I don't think they that dumb. Honestly, I don't think they that dumb. This kind of sounds like some sabotaging, but like I said, there are some dumb mother fornicators out here in this world. and they do dumb shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this happened how many years ago, and then he's just not being arrested for it. Could he be being set up? You know, could they just be lying to get themselves out of trouble? Could they have been offered? Could a little bird flew and landed on their shoulder and offered them a little sweet deal? Hey, if you say that such and such did this, then we'll cut some time out for you, or we'll let you go. You know, if you work for us, and just put this on such and such, because we've been trying to get rid of them since the beginning. You see what I'm saying? Who knows? I don't know. I'm just saying. That's wild business. That is wild business right there. Let me see. I got this other clip. Let me see what they talking about on this right here. Let's see what they talking about. They're talking the more of them selling drugs out of the restaurant.
New at 3, bombshell claims in the federal arson case against the former Turkey Leg Hut co-owner. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Soroka.
And I'm Lisa Hernandez. Right now, a judge is deciding whether to keep Lynn Price in custody after prosecutors shared concerns that he threatened a witness or potential jurors. KPRC 2's Bryce Newberry live in the newsroom after hours in the courtroom this morning. Bryce.
Yeah, Lisa and Andy, for the former Turkey Leg Hut owner, federal prosecutors say the turkeys have come home to roost. They say for years, Lynn Price has tried to keep his hands clean of crimes, paying off others to do the dirty work, and they want to keep him in custody. During a more than 2-hour hearing, an FBI agent testified that Price paid $1,400 to have his ex-business partner's bar, 5015, blown up nearly 5 years ago. This is surveillance video from that early morning in June of 2020 when masked men poured gasoline all over
and they just pouring it. These unskilled arsonists just out here letting the gas splash up on their shoes, on their clothes. Have y'all seen any of those videos where these people doing things like this got caught on fire for not being careful enough? Dumbass criminals, you know what I'm saying? It should have happened to them
before that fire that then caused an explosion.
Draws all out, ass all out, pants sagging, like damn. If you was gonna have to run, you're ever gonna get caught.
An indictment unsealed last week alleges that Lynn Price orchestrated this plan. The owner of that bar allegedly told FBI agents he initially planned to bring Lynn Price into that business, but then decided not to. The owner allegedly turned down a box of cash Lynn Price brought
He almost splashed it up on his shoe. Dude just turned around. They not even looking at what they doing.
Allegedly when he turned down a box of cash.
Look like he got it on his shoe. I'm sure some of the gas splashed up on his shoe, bro. Like
Lynn Price brought him to be part of the ownership team, and then when Bar 5015 started selling crawfish, apparently using the Turkey Leg Hut supplier, the owner said Lynn Price called screaming and hollering and threatened to blow the place up.
Damn.
So in the past, Lynn Price went to federal prison on tax fraud-related charges. Once he got out on supervised release, prosecutors allege that he's been involved in other criminal activity, including paying a co-defendant in this arson case to steal vehicles and heavy machinery. The FBI agent testified under oath that same co-defendant admitted to bringing truckloads of hydro marijuana from California that would be stored at the Turkey Leg Hut and then got sold at the restaurant in custom branded packaging. Prosecutors allege Lynn Price got
I don't know. Who going to the Turkey Leg Hut asking, hey man, I need a 3.5. How much for a 3.5? Shit, I need a cell. Matter of fact, I need a QP. Bag that up for me right quick. And I need a stuffed turkey leg. Let me get that. I don't think they doing that. Who the hell selling weed at their restaurant like that, bro? Like, nah. You got a famous restaurant like that? I don't believe so. Unless this is a Turkey Leg Hut / smoke shop. And they selling THCA branded marijuana up in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can sell hemp in the state of Texas. You can do that. It is legal until they ban it. I don't think it's been outruled yet. I know they working on it, but I don't think it's in effect at this moment. So if they selling THCA products, then they blowing this up to make it seem like they selling marijuana out of there. I don't know. I'm just looking at this thing because I know how the media work. I worked in the news. I've worked behind the scenes. So I know how the stories get twisted. I know how they just take bits of pieces of information and make their own story out of it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm always looking at shit with the side eye. You know what I'm saying? Once you worked in that news, most people, if you ain't a robot, if you think with your own self, a lot of these stories don't always be legit, man. Like I always go back to this time when the Afghans was when the United States was evacuating out of the Afghan from the war, and all those Afghanistan people was boarding those planes, hanging on to them and stuff like that. The news tried to say that shit was fake. I don't think that shit was fake, you know. And there's plenty of other stories that they be fabricating. So I'm saying, if they selling weed with their logo on it, it might be hemp. It just might be hemp. Who knows?
The proceeds and gave some of the money to that co-defendant. And while he's not charged connected to those allegations specifically, Price's attorney argues he is not.
Them look like the same damn shoes. Hold on. Them look like the same shoes that was just in that damn video. Am I tripping?
To bring Lynn Price into that business, but then decided not to. The owner allegedly turned down.
Them right there. I think I might be tripping. Let's see.
Is not a danger to the community. He's actually helped the community after specifically Price's allegations specifically.
I don't know, man. They damn near look.
Argues he is not a danger to the community. Some of the money to that.
They damn near look alike.
While he's not charged connected to those allegations specifically.
I don't know, man. You might need to check your circle, bro.
Price's attorney argues he is not a danger to the community. He's actually helped the community after natural disasters.
Mr. Lyndall Price is.
Oh, hold on. He supposedly paid them to do it, so that might be that person that he paid to do it.
There's a bond for various reasons. One being that he's not a danger to the community. You heard multiple testimony as it relates to his community involvement, the things that he does for the community. But more importantly, the co-defendants that are on his indictment have all been given a bond. So we're asking for equity and asking for a bond similar to the other people on his indictment.
So everybody else got a bond, but he didn't get a bond. I'm trying to figure out, is this a target on him, or do they just really think that he's a danger to the community because he allegedly paid these people to do such, and he may have power to get people to do things again? I'm just looking at it both ways, because you know what I'm saying, he could be that dangerous in their eyes, and on the flip side, they could be targeting his ass.
The federal judge ended this hearing by saying there's a lot to think about and she's going to chew on it. We don't yet know when she'll make a decision about keeping Lynn Price in custody.
So where's the other owner at? They said he's the co-owner. What's up with the other owner?
We understand Lynn Price is accused of another arson in this current indictment. What did you find out about that?
Yeah, Andy, in April of 2020, prosecutors say he paid a co-defendant to steal a 1975 Chevy Nova because Lynn Price wanted the engine out of it. But once they took that truck to the mechanic, they found out it had been stolen from a police officer who owned it. It was then found burned near railroad tracks and a retention pond. Around both of these alleged arsons, prosecutors say call records show the two men were in touch.
And Bryce, we know you sat in court throughout the morning. What was Price's demeanor like in court today, and what do we know about what happens next?
Lisa, Lynn Price was still handcuffed and shackled. He was wearing an olive green jumpsuit. He had many people there to support him and seemed hopeful at the beginning of this hearing. He was nodding at them as they came in, but then as the hearing went on, he seemed to keep his head down. And then at times when some of these new allegations came out and were discussed, he would appear to react and shake his head. He was then taken back into custody while we await this judge's decision.
That's got to be heavy. There's got to be some shit to deal with right there, man, you know. Shout out to Danielle. Appreciate you for pulling back up to the bootleg ass studio. She say the vibes are in the building for damn show. Moose 305 in the motherfucking bootleg stew. What it do? Appreciate you. Yeah, man. I guess we're gonna see how that plays out.